To preface, me and my two friends frequently go camping together for Boy Scouts, and to pass the time we play an extremely simple role-playing game we mockingly call B&B. To say we play fast and loose with any sort of rule set is an understatement. The dynamic duo I was running returned to a major city to collect their reward, and they wanted to upgrade their equipment at the local smith with some demonic material they had collected on their previous mission. One of them just sold them and their old equipment to afford some better stuff, and the second one wanted something special. He wanted to upgrade his steel gauntlets and infuse them with demonic power. This required several rules of quality, price haggling, and effects. He rolled to get good quality but mediocre effects and a monkey's paw effect. I want to test the effect of the glove on this barrel. The glove corruption only works on living creatures. The other friend says to wait a while he goes into the crowd. I look at people around me. Rolls a 16 perception. There's mostly just random people, adventurers and a woman with her baby looking at food. Pause. I want to steal the baby. Silence. Rolls a 19. Well, you've successfully stolen the baby. I take the baby back to Ethan and ask him to test the glove on the baby. Adam, I'm not going to test the Satan gauntlets on a baby. They argue about the morality of testing the devil's corrupting influence on a baby for a few minutes before he relents. I return the baby back to the mother. How do you do that? He walks up to the mother, puts the baby in her arms and tell her, you dropped this. You ought to be more careful with your possessions. They ended up testing the gauntlet on a stray dog and liquefied its heart inside its body. Mid-level campaign, designed around fighting some devils from the Nine Hells. I had made a character way back, a goblin named Jables, who was hungry for rock and roll. Glorious was Jables, worshipper of the holy diver. He was on a journey to put together a band and got roped into a party hunting devils. Standard fare adventuring stuff. He and his party's Kinku made fast friends, as the Kinku would basically provide backup vocals or replicate instruments using his mimic feature. This Kinku was known as Nuh-uh, a caster who specialized in counter magic, a la counter spells and zone of silence. The rest of the party were pretty tanky, cleric, paladin, fighter, so we sat back and casting spells, inspiration, and singing parodies of classic rock. It was a good time all around. Eventually, we were faced with the big bad, a true blue devil of the Nine Hells trying to make a name for himself. He was tasked with destroying the holy hunters of his kin, and in doing so would be promoted amongst the ranks. Now, knowing the DM, this encounter was going to be really rough. Most of the monsters we've encountered could stop my Kinku friend and I fairly quickly, as we were far squishier than the rest of the party, but Na and Jables planned for this. We challenged the devil to a rock-off. If we win, he goes back to the hells forever. If we lose, he can take our souls. Standard fare bard stuff, really. And the DM, entertained by the thought, accepted. So we went first, singing the first thing that came to our heads. Beelzebub. It just so happened to be the best song in the world after all. I rolled pretty high on performance and things were looking pretty good. The devil was not impressed with the performance, however. Rolled pretty high, and was about to play a tune of his own. He readied his lute and began to strum, only no sound came out. Absolute silence. You see, while Jables was rolling performance, Naa was subtle casting a zone of silence around the devil. After my goblin delivered a tasty jam, the Keku blocked all sounds from the devil. He lost the rock and roll because he could not play. The DM was flabbergasted. He expected the rock-off, planned for the event. He did not expect the devil to lose on a technicality. So the devil returned to the hells, and the party now live in the lap of luxury. All of their debts paid off. Okay, so this was a one-shot where I was the DM. I was using a homebrew system that I made that focused on fun. I even made 20 custom spells, one of which was called Smite. Smite lets the user launch a lightning bolt from any point in their body. Smite does 2d6 damage, but on a separate roll of a d6. If you get a 6, the lightning bolt chains to any enemy doing the same damage. Our group consists of 3 players, a goblin rogue, a dragonborn warlock, and a human paladin. The party was on a quest to find the creator of a golem army. These were your simple small rock golems, but there were over 10,000 of these small rock golems. The party was called on by a large government council that were having troubles keeping the golem army at bay. The party was pointed to a forbidden land where people were banished. As the party was going to the forbidden land, a nearby rock hill started rumbling. The rocks of the hill lifted up and took the form of 6 small rock golems. The paladin was the first to go, and his idea was to use Smite. I asked the paladin where he was going to shoot the lightning bolt from, and he looked down at his crotch and said, "The spell says any place in the body, so I'm going to pelvic thrust the lightning bolt at the golem." I went, "Really? You want a pelvic thrust at the golems?" He just shook his head, yes. The paladin pelvic thrusts at the rock golems and rolls high on the damage roll. I asked him to see if it changed to the others. He rolls a 6, because of course he does. He manages to take out 6 golems with a pelvic thrust. The paladin uses his various pelvic thrust tactics to defeat any enemy they came in contact with. This was a hilarious one-shot, and I even got our regular DM to put reference in our main campaign.